Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our RimWorld Wasteland Let's Play. So, a little bit of work done between episodes. Obviously, we've made pretty good progress on the bedrooms here. I've completely furnished one bathroom, although nothing in there is actually functional right now. I just went ahead and put it in so that you guys could see what I was going for. And so this is the layout I think I'll be using for pretty much every bathroom that we have, although the dresser and the fountain may or may not carry over to others. I'm gonna play with those a little bit and see what I need in here versus what I have. But obviously the bathtub, the toilet, and the sink are gonna be fairly consistent. And so these will all be essentially the same, just flipped in different directions. These will be the same as well, but you can see with like the toilets and the sinks, for example, I can toggle these to different options, and so one of these will be male, the other will be female, whereas the private ones I think I'll just leave unisex and link them to a bed, so they'll be owned by the people that own the bedroom, whereas these will not. What else? So we have a mission. I don't know if I want to do this though, because I don't know if we're going to be dealing with toxic fallout, because obviously if somebody's trudging several days out in the wild exposed to toxic fallout, they're probably going to die fairly quickly. But we have a person named Pete here who is currently being held by some pirates, I think. They have two of them stationed there, along with two turrets and a mortar that one of them could potentially man. We have 20 days to do it, so I'm not going to jump on this just yet. I'm going to give you guys a chance to weigh in, but it looks like it's going to take us about 2.5 days to get there. I figure probably closer to 3 or 4, but that still means we have about 2 weeks to decide. So again, feel free to weigh in on whether or not we should try to do this, and if we are going to do it, how. I was thinking of just sending Grim by himself. He is by far our most competent fighter, and he's got a pretty good weapon, so I think sending him in, having him sort of scout the situation, and we can then evaluate, is this worth attempting? Do we think he can do it alone, or should we just back off and leave this guy to his fate? Because it's not worth losing a colonist just to gain one that may not be as good, or just potentially losing them both. So we'll see. Anyways, we got a lot to do today. A lot of mining that still needs to happen. We're gonna jump to 2 times speed here. And so right now Pearl's mining out these hallways. We're gonna try to get those done so that we can finish this last bedroom, or at least the layout for it. And then I'd like to dig out these rooms here and start putting stuff in them. Someone also pointed out that this area here would make a great sort of water station, I guess would be the word, where we have all the water filtration and processing stuff happening, and I totally agree. I think that's a great place for it. So once we have our research bench down and we have let's see, where are we at with that? We have basic irrigation. We need septic tanks, and then we need to go through here into water filtration. This gives us the water treatment building thingy station, and then we finally get sewage treatment. So we need that, and then we also need I don't recall where it is, but there is something that will allow us to turn the sludge that we're producing into chem fuel, and that will be really, really helpful. So we're definitely going to want that, and we'll probably put it in that room, because we are going to be completely reliant on energy sources that we can renewably sustain in here. We're not going to use any solar or wind power, because that requires us to put stuff down outside the vault, and that is not how vaults work. So yeah, we're going to see what we can do there. We don't have the research bench down yet, obviously, and that's something that we need to remedy pretty soon here. So, again, once this hallway's done, we're going to start mining out these rooms, and I'll probably... I will just throw it in one or the other. And we'll get somebody going on that. I don't recall who is best suited for it. Schmidt could do it. Pearl could do it. And Locke could do it. So, any of the three, really. We'll have somebody on that. Locke is not really one for mining, so I'll probably have him work on it. Yeah, he really should be doing art or medicine. And since neither of those are required right now, I guess research is perfect for him. Oh, we're getting a lot of steel from this as well. I did add 1 or 2 new mods to this playthrough, one of which was just a couple of additional hairs, but the other was RimKia, which adds a bunch of furniture. We are going to have to research in order to see it, but I think it'll really help with the decorations of these rooms, because there's a lot of very sort of modern, kind of trendy looking furniture that I think suits a Fallout setting really well. So I'll try to remember to add that to the mod collection, but just in case I forget, you guys see it here. It's called RimKia, and there's some cool furniture in there that I think, again, fits this setting really well. We should get some floors down, shouldn't we? So let's see here. More floors. We want marble hex paving, and we can fill all this in. I've gone a little bit past where these meet just to remind myself that that's a continuation of a hallway. We can get all that down, then we get all this down. I'm trying to keep things kind of being built up as they open up, and also keeping them lit as they open up, because lighting is one of the things that affects the likelihood of an insect infestation. And so if we can keep the area well lit, we reduce that risk. The other is the temperature, which unfortunately, while I could try to like really pump the temperature down in our hallways to prevent those things from happening, I think that would make it kind of unpleasant for the people actually living in here, and we don't want that. Okay, so the pawns have awoken and they're back to work. It looks like Schmidt is jumping straight onto those floors. So we're almost done mining up here. As soon as we get through that, I'm going to go ahead and queue up this room, I believe. And I think this is going to be the medical bay. So what we'll do for now is obviously get it opened up, wall it off properly, floor it. We're not going to put in sterile tiles. We can't afford that yet, so we'll just have to keep the room as clean as we can without it. We'll be using basic beds because we don't have medical beds yet, or at least the technology to make them. But we'll have like maybe 4 to 6. I think 6 is overkill, because if all 6 of them are in medical beds, then we're in a lot of trouble. So probably like 4 beds designated specifically for medical treatment, and then we will have a little bit of storage for our medicine, as well as eventually somewhere to produce that medicine, and our research bench, obviously. Now it's just going to be the basic one, the 2x3, because that's all we can use right now. Eventually we're going to have the high-tech one, which is 5x2, and then there's the multi-analyzer that's another 2x2. So we'll need to factor that in, and we may just have to put that somewhere else, because these rooms aren't well suited to something that big. This is 6x3 right here. And so if we tried to do, I suppose what we could do is have the research bench. No, even if we did that, there's really no way to keep the research bench, the high-tech one, and the multi-analyzer adjacent without blocking a walkway. So we probably will need another room somewhere for that. But that's not a huge problem. I'm sure we can find another place to put it. We do have quite a lot of space that we can mine into. And eventually, again, we will utilize this area. Although we will need to obviously make sure it's all roofed over, although it should be overhead mountain. And then we'll need to clear the bugs out. I think they're dying due to the cold right now. Yeah. So they're dying from hypothermia, which is fantastic. It may end up killing... Yeah, this is dormant, I think, again, because of the temperature. So the cold may do us a favor there. Let's see, we could use another couple of chandeliers there. So let's put one here, we'll put one there, and one right there. And we will, of course, need to light all this. Or, excuse me, power all this. So we'll get a wall in there so we can run conduits through it. And I guess after that, we'll go ahead and start digging this out. I think we may as well build some proper double beds in here, because I would like to future-proof and give everybody the furniture as if, you know, they're eventually going to get married or have a partner, rather than putting in a single bed, furnishing the room around that, and then having to change everything when that happens. So yeah, I think it's smarter to just build them a bigger bed than they need now under that assumption, and then again I can just furnish everything around this, and then nothing needs to change later on. Transport pod crash. A ranch owner named Dewey is crashing in a transport pod nearby. She's from the Southern Thane. So, I think it was this playthrough. I'm getting a little confused with all the playthroughs I have going on right now. But we actually did rescue somebody, and they unfortunately didn't join us. I think I mentioned this before, but typically what happens is, in these situations, once they are healthy enough to get up and walk around, usually they'll stand up and offer to join you. And in that case, it didn't happen. So let's see what this is all about here. Oh boy. God, you're not a great character. So she hates dumb labor, which isn't great, but could be worked around. She's tough, which is nice. I mean, it would be great if she was a good fighter, because the tough would really help then, but unfortunately it doesn't. She's staggeringly ugly, which means people aren't really going to be too fond of her. So, God, that's tough, because I would say, normally with a character like this, I go, okay, janitor, perfect. I'll just, you know, put you to work cleaning. But she will be very upset if she has to do that, and she's very bad at it. So, really, all I can ask her to do is research and, I guess, negotiate. She could be a prison warden, although that's risky given her non-existent combat skills. Let's just call it what it is. And I guess she could craft a little bit. Well, there's no guarantee she's going to join us anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and ask Grim to rescue her. How far is she, by the way? That's a pretty good hike. We're going to rescue her, we'll get her patched up, and if she offers to join, I'll have to give it a good think. It's entirely possible that she won't be ready to join us until next episode, so feel free to weigh in on whether or not you guys think we should bring her aboard if she offers to join. But I'm always happy to have more hands. I generally prefer that the hands be a little bit more useful. But in this case, I think we can find a job for her. You're kind of our janitor right now, so I guess I can put you to work cleaning and whatnot, just like you have been, and let her do the research, because she's as good as anybody else, I think, right? I won't be able to click on her until he delivers her into the bed, so we'll see. But I think she was an 8 with 1 passion, which is roughly the same as everybody else that is up for consideration for that job. So there's no real reason why she couldn't do it, and then given time she could become real proficient at it, and that will just be her dedicated job. Yeah, so 8 with 1 passion, Schmidt was the same, Pearl was the same. So yeah, I guess we could find a use for her. You're not using our good medicine, are you? Okay, good. Yeah, we're not going to treat her with any medicine. If she gets an infection, we'll deal with that as needed, but I'm not going to waste any medicine on like superficial cuts and bruises. Okay, let's get the remainder of those floors in there. They've already got this hallway lit. That's great. We got travelers. They're not gonna stop by or anything, and they don't have anything to trade, so we'll just ignore them, pretend like they're not there. Hopefully they don't go aggroing any of the insects. Although, yeah, those ones I think are dying. The little ones seem to be dying all over. And that's great for us. Means we probably can just ignore them and maybe they'll go away on their own. Let's see. Mining, I want that done too. We'll get all the outer walls in there. And while they're working on that, we can lay in some conduits. Perkin gave us a masterwork small chandelier. I haven't been bothering to look at the art on a lot of these. We'll peek at this one since there's not a whole lot else happening. So, Purple Terrorist. Interesting. An engraving on this furniture is shaped like Perkin Gray striking compacted steel while digging. Perkin is sweating and dirty from work. The work symbolizes harmony. Provocatively, a large group of Fletchers appear beneath the main subject. This portrayal refers to Perkin striking compacted steel on the 7th of October 550. So, I'm not sure where terrorists come in there, unless he's up to something with his compacted steel mining that we don't know about, which is concerning, but yeah. Okay. So let's see, she's all patched up. No infection so far. We're running a little bit low on raw food there, aren't we? We have quite a lot of meals though. So it may be that he's just producing them a little too overzealously. We'll see. If we start getting a little bit low though, I am going to go ahead and open up another one of these with rice again. Even though I would like to dedicate the next one to heal root. Is that centered? Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. So that should be there. Oh, what am I thinking? I don't know why I thought the door was too wide. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and we need more conduits as well. They're digging this stuff out faster than I can lay in the blueprints sometimes. And I'll put the steel door there, even though there's really no use for it just yet. Oh, his dementia's kicking in. That's unfortunate. And let's see. I've also been doing, in the spots where doors are, a marble stone slab rather than the hex floors, just to kind of break it up so you can see there the slab. I don't know. I always do that under doors just because it kind of, I feel like it transitions rooms better. But your mileage may vary. Oh good, Pearl talked him out of it. Nice. Got more light. 3 more blocks and then we can start mining something else out. Come on guys, we're so close. I actually should not have done that. Cancel the walls right there. Go ahead and lay in the conduits and whatnot, but I was actually going to put something else there. Why is that not getting mined? Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's all that. Let's jump over to our orders and start digging this out. I think I'll do it sort of like that. And then I'll just dig out the doors last. Works for me. That should make it easier to keep up with the walls and stuff. And then I was going to put that there. I don't know what I want in here. I just had a little bit of extra room. That's going to be a wall there, so I'm just going to leave this 2x4 area open. Or I guess it's 4x2 from this perspective. I'm just going to leave it open and see what we can put in there. Maybe a couple of batteries? I'm not too sure. But it was just some extra space that we had, so I figured we would try to make use of it. Right. Ah, crap. Why did your bed spontaneously combust? Or a bed spontaneously combust? Perkin, you're closest, so run on over there. Hopefully that's the only thing. Okay, as you were. Right, so what I was trying to do before that happened was lay in our floors there, and I missed one right here. I'll do the floors there too, but that may change depending on what that ends up being. Excuse me. Oh good, they've already started on this, and it looks like we're going to get some steel out of it too, which is great. It's always nice to get some useful materials while you're digging out a new room area. Kind of, you know, killing two birds with one stone and all that. Oh, that was weird. We have an exotic goods trader. We'll see what they have, but I don't have really anything to offer them. Maybe we can see. Oh, where am I? There we are. I can maybe trade these painting supplies or some of the synth thread. I don't know. We'll see. Could trade them blocks. I have plenty of stone blocks. But they, the exotic goods trader probably won't accept those actually, so I don't think we'll be able to do anything with that, or really anything that we have, to be honest. We'll get those reconnected just so they're not sticking out all over the place. And let's see. Grimm's cutting more blocks for us. I might put a pause on that because we're getting a little bit full here. Yeah, I'd rather have people mining. Yeah, I actually stopped with the specifically marble blocks because we had so many. The reason why is because I was trying to build up some sandstone. In situations like this, where I don't really have access to trees, like at all, so wood is, you know, not available, I like to use sandstone as sort of a stand-in for wood because it's a similar color, and so it helps add color to rooms where there wouldn't be any if I was just using marble and steel. Everything would be, you know, various shades of gray. So, yeah, I like using sandstone for that. It's very, very close to the color of wood. Who's our talker again? I think you are, yeah. 12, although Pearl's not bad either. Let's see. You're both mining, so I'm just going to have you do it. Go ahead and offer to trade. We'll see what they have. Oh, and it looks like Holland might have a quest for us. Okay. So they'll actually buy a few things that we have. But do they have anything that I want? Not really. Yeah, nothing that I couldn't live without. Eventually I'll need to buy Glitter World medicine and stuff from them, but as it stands, I don't think there's any need. And they're only willing to buy the painting supplies and other valuable resources from me, so I don't think I'll bother with that. Let's talk to Holland and see what he's got here. You know, we're not really ready for anything like that. These are all going to require me to go somewhere, and I'm still a bit wary about doing that sort of thing until we know for sure where exactly the toxic fallout is, until we have some actual armor and more than one person able to kind of go on these things. So let's scratch that, and then I'm going to dismiss the trader and get back to work. We're making some pretty good headway over here. Let's get these walls in. Just because I do want to keep this sort of a separate area. And we are going to have doors here. This isn't going to be open. I'll probably use the 2x1 blast doors. I like having, especially in these mountain bases, really heavy doors connecting large rooms, because if there is an infestation, it's nice to be able to kind of keep things, you know, airlocked, so that if that happens, you don't compromise the entire base. You know, they'll be limited to that room. As long as you can get everybody out of that room, you'll have time to kind of, you know, set up a defense or whatever it is that you need to do to get rid of it. Also, what you can eventually do is set up coolers in your rooms. If you have enough power to do this, you can have coolers in your rooms. If you get an infestation in that room, you can just drop the temperature low enough to kill the bugs. Although that can be hard to do given the size of the room and the amount of coolers you have. So, not always the best solution, but a possible solution. And again, another reason to consider making everything an individual room in these mountain bases. Yeah, we're making pretty good headway. So the first thing we're going to build in here, other than like a floor and light, is... That's under production, isn't it? Yeah. Our steel research bench. We'll just put it right here. And we'll either get Locke to work on that, or our newest member, if she joins by the time that's ready to go. Alright, so we have ourselves a raid. There is 5 of them, and it looks like, let's pause here quickly, we have 2 knives, a shotgun, and a submachine gun. So they're going to be relatively close range. We need to make sure we engage them before they get too close to the point where, you know, they'll pose a threat to us. And we'll have to see, oh god, you have terrible health, how much the toxic fallout gets to them before they even, you know, close to range. Let's look at their stats real quick. Is anybody worth trying to recruit here? Not the worst character. She could be a decent fighter, and with some practice, she could be a crafter as well. Bloodlust is somewhat problematic in that they will cause a lot of social fights, but can be really useful for somebody who needs to clean up bodies or things like that. It's also nimble and tough, meaning she'll be an even better fighter than what just her passion will allow. Over here, let's see. You're an awful shot, so I don't know that we need to worry about that shotgun. Really just a cook and a doctor. And that's pretty much it. She will learn fast, but she's really only got potential in those 2 skills. So, not too good there. Although, she isn't incapable of hauling and cleaning like other people, so maybe we'll be able to find use for her if she is available. Newt. A little bit more well-rounded here, although unfortunately, he's not very good at anything he has passion for, so it would take quite a bit of practice to make him worthwhile at anything. But he is a fast walker, which is a really good trait to have. He's kind, another good trait. And gourmand is not a very good trait, to be honest. Especially given that he has no passion for cooking. There's no reason to really have him cooking. And so this basically just means he's going to take up more food. Whitney. Let's see. A misandrist and a masochist. That's not necessarily a bad trait. Honestly, with the Pawns Are Capable mod, hating firefighting is not that big a deal because they won't do it frequently enough for it to be a problem. Whereas before, if they were incapable of it, they just outright wouldn't do it, and that was a problem. Misandrist can be an issue because we will have men in our colony. We do have men in our colony, and so she will create conflict with them. But she's a good fighter. She has some potential for plants and animals, and is obviously a pretty solid medic. So not the worst character, but her traits, this one especially, kind of suck. And then Aiden hates dumb labor. That seems to be a pretty common one these days. And he's pretty much a chef and an animal handler. Given his health, though, I don't think we want anything to do with him. So not too impressed with any of these characters, to be honest, but we'll go ahead and, you know, fight it out and see what happens. Let's see. They're coming straight for us, so I'm going to call everybody up now. Pearl, you don't have a weapon, right? Yeah, so everybody but Pearl is going to join us out here. And our goal is going to be to try to get them... Wait, what are you guys doing? I may have called them out too early. Unfortunately, we risk taking a bunch of fallout exposure if we sit here too long. So I think what I will need to do in the future is roof off some of this area out here, just so that while we're sitting out here, we're not, you know, getting super poisoned by this junk. Let's do something like that. And we should be shooting at them fairly soon here. Yep, there we go. We're not killing them fast enough though. Oh, Tina's down. Natsuki is down. And that guy's dead. Cool. That went pretty well, I think. Wasn't there? Aid never made it. We'll let him go. Right. So, we just acquired a couple of weapons that'll be useful. And some silver. Let's see. What's under you? Oh, nothing. Okay. I'll definitely take the knives. Those are nice to have as offhand weapons. We'll unforbid the corpses so that they get burned. And do I want to take some prisoners? I don't think I care too much for you. Tina's not in very bad shape, and I think of that group, she was the best character, so maybe we'll grab Tina. I'm gonna need a bed in an area I can close off, though. That might be a bit of an issue. I suppose not. Let's see, this is unowned. Let's reinstall this in one of our bathroom areas. I'm gonna ask, can Pearl do that? Yeah, Pearl's gonna do that. Grim, do me a favor and... No, okay. I can't prioritize that apparently. Maybe if I do it here? No. Prioritize burning. Okay, good. So you do that. Tadashi, I'm gonna have you do the other one. And the rest of you go inside. When Grim is done with this business and Pearl is done with that business, I will have him grab Tina and bring her in. Hopefully we get some rice soon. I am a bit concerned about our meal count. Part of that may have been due to... No, I think I'm thinking of the other playthrough. I don't think we had any blight in this one. So yeah, I don't think we're producing food fast enough. I think we are going to need to create another one of these. And sooner than I had hoped. Okay, so that's there. Let's go ahead and mark this for prisoners. And Grim, I need you, when you're done eating, to go capture Tina. And I don't know what I'm going to do with you. I might just let you bleed to death. Is anybody who likes melee combat? I don't think it's worth it. I'm just going to let you bleed. If I have somebody who really enjoys melee combat and has potential in it, could have them level up by beating her to death, but I don't think it's worth it. Okay, so Tina has been captured. She's getting treated now. And it's going to be a pretty simple patch-up job. She didn't get hurt that bad. Okay, so our guest is fully healed. We'll have to see what she decides to do. I'm not opposed to bringing her on, but I think this is as good a place as any to go ahead and stop, just in case if she does get up and decide to join. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about it, so I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here so that you will have the opportunity to do that. And everything else that I've asked you guys about. So obviously the mission that we have available to go rescue somebody else. Do you think it's worth trying to recruit Tina, or should we not bring on more mouths to feed just yet? I don't think it'll take us too long to get another growing area up and running. We already have part of it mined out, so I'm just going to finish the rest off camera. And we'll go ahead and lay it out just like this one. With rice, I think rice is the way to go because it grows the fastest. Although corn does have a better yield and requires less work. I don't think we're there yet. I'd like to eventually transition there, but for now, we need rapid food, so rice is going to be the way to go. As I said before, I'll get a research bench in here so that we can start researching some of the stuff we need for better furniture, being able to actually craft these blast doors ourselves, and being able to start making better use of this waste that we're producing. And of course plumbing the base so that we don't have to do our business outside. So with that, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I had a great time playing some RimWorld with you, as I always do, and I look forward to seeing you back here for the next episode.